Hello and welcome back. Today's story is turning failure into success. In Mahabharata, Yudhishthira was invited by his cousin Duryodhana for the game of dice. Yudhishthira, being Yudhishthira, accepted it because he was a man of dharma and honor. He came and played the game of dice with Duryodhana. What was the outcome? The outcome was he was not very good in the game of gambling. He ended up losing his kingdom, his wealth, and his brother in the game of dice. He was pursued and he ended up also putting Draupadi into the game and lost Draupadi too. What happened? Yudhishthira and his brothers and his wife were exiled for 13 years. Out of 13 years, 12 years in forest and 1 year in incognito. But these 13 years were not years of hopelessness. It was the years of self discovery, reflection, learning, and going beyond your own self and doing things differently. Arjuna pursued and wanted to gain his divine understanding of weapons. Bhima was able to gain more strength with his Gada. Yudhishthira pursued his learning with the sages to become a better administrator and king at the end of the day. Now, all of this was happening while they were in exile. They pursued and they learned that it was the time for them to re strategize, rebuild, and create the strength and the energy to come back and forget about the game of dice they lost, but to create their abilities to come back and win the war. What happened was monumental. In the whole Mahabharata, the 18-day Kurukshetra war took place and the Pandavas won over the Kauravas. And this was because they were able to use these 13 years effectively. Coming to the modern era, the visionary Ratan Tata wanted to emulate Henry Ford. What did Henry Ford do? He created automobile. He created the way the world is traveling today. Ratan Tata in 2003 was sitting in his Mumbai office having a discussion with his team. He asked them a very fundamental question. How do we create a vehicle for an Indian family of four people who travel on a two-wheeler and has to live the perils of the Indian roads? The question was, can we create an affordable four-wheeler? The answer to that question was the Nano. The Nano got created. It got christened as the most affordable car which could come into the Indian market and can create a vehicle for millions. Nano was the dream. In 2008, in the Indian Expo, the Indian Car Expo in New Delhi, it was launched with fanfare. It was called the People's Car. It was a vision which had to be transmitted to the population with good quality, great safety, and an efficiency which the Indian customers wanted. And this was what Tata has envisaged. The car was priced at 1 lakh rupees, but it was like the Pandavas in the exile. It created a complexity within the Tata Motors. The challenge begins. Nano was priced at 1 lakh rupees. They had a perception problem because Indian families wanted a car which was to determine that they were in the affluent status. But when this car, which was told the cheapest car, kind of culturally did not align with the Indian mindset. The second thing which happened was the production delay. In Singur, where the production plant was, there was an issue with the acquisition of the land, which further delayed the production or the start of the production of the nano car. While it was moved to Gujarat, but it had already had its impact. The second impact was when this car was on the road, there were 2 or 3 incidents where the car caught fire. There were safety issues which came up, which kind of created complexities in terms of one, the perception, two, the security of the car. What happened was the sales number plummeted. it plummeted dramatically and drastically. What seemed to be a visionary car came out to be something which did not go well with the Indian market. What will Ratan Tata do? What will Tata Motors do? It is just like that the Pandavas had got into an exile, Tata Motors also ended up being in the exile, and now they have to re strategize, rethink, and create something more valuable for the marketplace to come back and give them back the respect that they had. As the Pandavas in their exile were working on themselves to regroup and to create more weaponry and understanding and knowledge and strategy to go back and win the Kurukshetra war, Tata Motors, after the initial failures of Nano, went back to the drawing board. Under Ratan Tata's leadership, the Tata Motors team worked on the car. They understood that it did not meet the aspirational value of the Indian market. It did not meet the need of safety and engineering and efficiency of the Indian market. They learned from the mistake. They re strategized, they rebuilt, they recreated, they looked at the issues and challenges, and they wanted to pivot and to create another vehicle in that segment which could become a runaway success. During 2008, Ratan Tata again had another view. He pivoted again. He went ahead and bought Jaguar Land Rover. Everyone looked at it not to be a very good process of buying that big giant which was not making money. But years later, JLR is not only making money, but in the luxury segment, Ratan Tata put Tata Motors up in the echelons of luxury. That is what happened when Tata Motors created a weaponry in JLR. Arjuna also, during the time of exile, went in and practiced and created divine weaponry for himself. Similarly, Ratan Tata and Tata Motors created the same for themselves. This is how you pivot and you create not only resiliency, but you also reinvent yourself in this whole 9 yards wherein you reflect, organize, reorganize, recreate, and build a brand which people want to now ride. That is what has happened with Tata Motors till now. The Nano project did not go great for Tata Motors. Same was with Pandavas when they lost the game of dice. They were exiled. Similarly, Tata Motors got exiled. They, they created value out of it. They became strategic. They become very focused on process reengineering. They did global expansion, and what came out was a beautiful story wherein they were about to create and become the largest car manufacturers in India. Three things came out of it. One, they became very efficient in their production cost. Two, they became very efficient in their designing. Three, they went into global expansion through JLR, Jaguar uh, Motors. And they also created the EV, which is today the leaders in the marketplace. The electric vehicle was also a strategic decision for the Tatas to create a value product in the marketplace and lead it as well. So, Nano, which seemed to be a failed project, actually, this was the process through which Tata not only recreated its brand, reorganized itself, but became one of the largest car manufacturers which India is seeing, with value and with the amount of market share that it has gone in the and created in the last so many years. Mahabharata teaches us that when you fail, you will have lot of pain. But when you are forging in the crucible through which you are able to rethink, you will create greatness. Arjuna, Yudhishthira, Bhima worked on themselves. They came back more powerful, more energetic, and more focused to come back and win the war. And they won nothing less than the Kurukshetra war and regained the kingdom for Yudhishthira. Similarly, Tata Motors launched the vehicle Nano. It didn't work. They sat back, pivoted, re strategized, innovated, and created methods in which they created another set of car, which was Tata Indica in that level and beyond. They pivoted and created JLR, and they became the luxurious brand of India. And they also became innovative and created EV, the electric vehicle, and are the leaders in the marketplace today. What does it mean as a story to us? It means that if you have got persistence and if you have got a strategic reflection, आपदा में ही अवसर है, ये आपको सोचना चाहिए. With that, if you have liked this video, then please hit the like button. And if you want someone else to learn from it, please do share. You keep watching, keep liking. Up till then, have a nice day ahead, and bye bye.